Welcome back for another dive into the Bangtan universe wormhole. This is the second video in our Yet to Come series, where we make predictions about the next era of the BU. Today our subject is how the cat might take revenge on our 7 heroes after they foiled its plans in the last era. Before we dive in, please take a moment to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on future updates. Now let's get started. First, here's a super quick refresher on our hero's history with the cat. Of course, it's not really a cat. It's a powerful supernatural entity that can take on different shapes. In the first half of our BU summary, we told you how the cat gave Seokjin the ability to travel in time. And in the second part of our summary, we told you how it stole his positive emotions and memories of his friends, and how they helped him recover. But where the cat failed with Seokjin, it succeeded with Jungkook. It disguised itself as Seokjin's truck and hit Jungkook, making him think Seokjin and the others were hiding the truth from him, and that Seokjin himself had almost killed Jungkook. By the end of Notes 2, Jungkook was full of hatred and paranoia for the others. He abandoned his friends, and in a final undated entry in Notes 2, he was floating in a slimy limbo that could be anywhere at any time. He felt like something was about to start, and he thought he was the one who started it. So let's speculate about what Jungkook started, or should we say what the cat started through him. No more beating around the bush. Here's what we think. The cat will use Jungkook to take revenge on him and all our heroes by splitting them up and stranding them in different parts of space, time, and even alternate universes. How? By using a wormhole. The first video in our Yet to Come series explained wormholes in detail, so we'll just repeat a few of the key points here. First, astrophysicists believe that wormholes may be the key to traveling instantly between distant points in space, time, and alternate universes. Yes, astrophysicists believe in alternate universes, and we talked about that in the last video too. Second, we provided strong evidence that a wormhole is hidden somewhere in Seokjin, and that the cat and its minions are searching for it. Now, the cat's plans for the wormhole are a lot bigger than just taking revenge on Seokjin and his friends, but we'll talk about that in a later video. Besides, the cat seems to realize the importance of getting our heroes out of the way before it proceeds. So staying focused on the 7 friends seems like the right path to take before we go further. Now here's our third friendly reminder. Jungkook actually saw the wormhole when he was a kid. At first it looked like a sinkhole, and a crowd had gathered around it to stare into it. Jungkook got so close that he almost fell in, and in the process he saw a glittering light at the bottom of the sinkhole, and he realized there was a hole within the hole. In other words, he was looking into another world. Actually, most of the wormholes in BTS's MVs, VCRs, and so on are connected to Jungkook somehow. And we don't think that's coincidence. We think it's a hint that Jungkook will enable the cat to use the wormhole against him and his friends. It could happen like this. At the end of Notes 2, Jungkook had abandoned his friends and was totally in the cat's grip. So if the cat finds out that Jungkook saw the wormhole/sinkhole, all it has to do is ask him where it is. He'll lead it right to the spot. At that point, the cat can send Jungkook through the wormhole, possibly into that slimy limbo from Notes 2 epilogue, and when the others come looking for him, it can lure them to the same location 1 or 2 at a time and send them through, always to different points in time and space and in alternate universes. This isn't just a matter of revenge for the cat. We think it needs to split them up because together they're too powerful for it to defeat. Their power comes from their shared destiny. BTS has always been depicted as being connected by a red string of fate, and we think that string might even connect them across past and future lifetimes. If that's the case, then it wouldn't do the cat any good to kill them because they'd eventually reincarnate and find each other again. But that might not happen if some members died in the distant past, others in the distant future, and others in different galaxies and even different universes. The cat might even send some of them back in time, into Seokjin's failed time loops. After all, those would be alternate universes according to wormhole theory, and in the failed loops, at least one of the members had always died. That would mess things up for sure. And in fact, we have evidence to suggest that's exactly what the cat will do. First, the 2019 Army Membership Kit, aka the Army Zip, includes a photo shoot where the members pretend to be superheroes. Weirdly, 2 of the 7 have time traveler powers, and 4 of them can supposedly teleport. Now, there's no way this could be coincidence. Everybody knows what BTS does when 2 or more members want the same thing. They play rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets it. They'd never just let 4 members be time travelers. And what's even funnier is that Jin isn't one of the time travelers. He's listed as having Iron Man's powers, but his favorite Avenger is actually Spider-Man. Jungkook's favorite Avenger is Iron Man, but his powers in this photo shoot are teleportation and time traveling. It seems obvious that someone else chose the members' powers, and the duplication is intentional. That means it's a hint of something to come. Our next hint comes from the supplementary notes packaged together with BTS's albums. A few of them hint at time travel weirdness, which occurs prior to the date Seokjin always returns to. Only the cat or one of its minions could have interfered with the time stream prior to April 11, year 22. The hints in the supplementary notes aren't as clear as that photo shoot, so we'll just share the clearest of them here. Remember when we speculated that the cat might send 1 or more members into the past? Well, here's an entry in which Taeyoung, as a little kid, meets a stranger who doesn't seem to know who or where he is. Someone was crouched down in front of the supermarket. He was a boy I hadn't seen before. He was playing with Dongi. That's a dog. I approached the guy. "Who are you?" "Me?" The guy looked at me with an expression like he didn't know what he should say. "Why are you playing with Dongi?" "Huh?" Again, the guy didn't speak. I asked again, "So who are you? What's your name?" Hyung didn't look at me, but he answered, "Me? Kim Seokjin." We'll leave the other supplementary notes for another day. Right now, we'll move on to the most compelling piece of evidence for our prediction, the MV for Film Out. This video is not certified canon, but the moment it was released, ARMYs noticed all the similarities between it and other MVs that are part of the BU. But the connection goes deeper than a few screenshots. The song Film Out was written for a movie soundtrack, and the history behind that movie proves that the Film Out MV is almost certainly connected to the BU. Film Out is an OST for a Japanese movie called Signal, but that Japanese movie has its roots in a popular K-drama which was also called Signal. In the K-drama, a detective in the present finds an old walkie-talkie that allows him to communicate with another detective who died 15 years earlier. By sharing information across time, they're able to change both the past and the present. That's just what Seokjin does in the BU, isn't it? He uses the past to change the present. And you'd be amazed how many times BTS have unnecessarily included walkie-talkies in photo shoots, Run BTS episodes, and other materials. They really seem to be dropping hints about Signal. In fact, this K-drama plays a role in some of our other BU theories, and you'll be hearing more about that later. But right now, we're only using it to strengthen our evidence that the Film Out MV is part of the BU in some way or other. And if it is, then this scene, and this scene, and this scene could easily be spoilers for the next era of the BU. Here we see Seokjin trapped in a maze of failed loops. Yoongi and Hosik might be on another planet and or in another universe, and some of the members seem to be frozen in time from other members' points of view. All this ties in with our theory about the cat's revenge. And we can make that theory even stronger by tying in the MV and lyrics for the Japanese single Lights. The Japanese MVs almost always connect to the BU, and the MV for Lights gives us more scenes of members frozen in time from other members' points of view. The MV also shows Jungkook isolated from the others and looking resentful, just like he does at the end of Notes 2. Although the fact that everyone is together at the end of the MV suggests that Jungkook will break free of the cat's influence and the 7 members will reunite. The MV for a third Japanese single, Stay Gold, also shows the 7 friends stuck in sad, separate locations. But we'll discuss that next week, when we use all 3 Japanese videos to discuss how the friends will break free from the cat's, quote, jail and reunite. Stay tuned for that, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on our jailbreak theory or any of our other unique content. Thanks, and Apo Bangpo.